Hello and welcome to this episode of Scamp School. Today we're going to take a look at the basics of tracing. So, what elements should I trace? What should I leave out? What level of detail do I need? Where should I start? To give yourself a good start, you'll need a good image. The image you choose to trace needs to be clear, it needs to be well defined, it needs to be well lit, and it needs to be high quality. Sometimes you won't always get the perfect image to match all those criteria, but you can do a lot of tricks to an image to make your life easier when it comes to the scamp. Take a look at the video in the description if it's a problem you're encountering often. So the best method I find for starting a trace is to pick out the most prominent part of the image. So in this case, I'd start with the left cheek and trace the outline of this, working my way down to the chin. At the start, you want to focus on getting the general outlines of the image. Anything that has a strong dark line in the photograph is something you should trace. For example, the cheeks have a prominent line of definition, so be sure to get those in. Notice how on certain parts of the image I don't draw a full line. This is a good tip for keeping the realism of the image. Wherever there is a light spot of the image, we break the line and rejoin again where it's dark. Human faces are imperfect, so our scamp needs to be the same. What you leave out is just as important as what you draw. Here is always an interesting one to scamp. There's lots of ways people do it. Personally, I find creating the outline first, followed by selective lines of detail and shaping creates the most natural look. But don't be afraid to try different things. Detail is a subjective thing when creating scamp threads. It depends on how much time you've got, how much you want to impress your CD, and does it actually add anything to the idea? Remember, you're an art director, not an illustrator. No one's expecting you to create a piece of art. Thanks for watching, guys. Please drop any ideas for tutorials you'd like to see into the comments section below. Thanks for watching.